Like how do you keep positive during tough times? And you might be able to interpret this differently. I think tough times come in different packages.
Yeah.
So however you'd like to.
Well, here's the deal, and I know this is way easier said than done, but everything is mindset, and you have to focus on the good. Even when times are so dark, you have to focus on the good things in your life. Like, let me give you an example, and this is why I feel like I can speak on this. So back in 2014, we were in a crazy car accident. I'm sure a lot of you know. I was in the hospital for 3 months, had to relearn to walk, had 12 surgeries, and a lot of those surgeries had to do with my left eye. So basically, something hit me in my face, and it crushed the wall that holds my eye up. It's called an orbital blowout, and so I had to have metal put in my face twice. And when they were in the process of doing that, apparently my eye muscles kind of were not working, and so I had a lot of eye muscle surgeries that had to basically allow my eyes to move together so I could see single, because I saw double for probably a solid year. I had to wear an eye patch. I mean, it was a whole thing. But I'll never forget sitting in the hospital, and like, I was upset, clearly, and there were certain days where I would just, be crying. But I remember there was just one day, and I was sitting there, I was crying. I was so upset about my eye. I'd finally seen it in the mirror. And I took a minute and I go, you know what, Alyssa? Like, thank gosh you're sitting here and you're able to cry over your eye that you still have. I could have lost my eye. What a different life that would have been to, not have my eye at all. So I know that's so dramatic, but it really, like, it was in that moment. I'm not even kidding you. I still remember, like, the smell, where I was, just all of it. I go, it's all perspective. It's all mindset. So when you focus on the good, you're going to get that back. Energy, everything you put out into the world, you're attracting back. I mean, we've seen that. We've felt that 100%. So during the tough times, feel it through. If you're upset, cry. Don't hide your emotions. Let it out. Deal with it. But then you got to focus on the good. Even if that's one thing in your life. Even if you're going through a breakup and it's the worst breakup in the world, go, you know what? At least I'm getting that trash out of my life. It wasn't meant here for me. It's not here to serve me. I'm opening up my arms to something greater and better in the world. So just having those mindset talks with yourself, whether you're listening to podcasts, reading a good book, listening to music, whatever gets you in that zone, it is a practice. You're not going to wake up one day and just be like, oh yeah, everything's perfect. Let me just focus on the good. I mean, you train your brain to do that. And now I do think that way all the time. So it's just being intentional with your thoughts and focusing on the good, even when times are tough, and not allowing yourself to not go through it either. Go through it, feel it. It's going to suck, but then move on and figure out what you learned from the situation and move on from there.
And that's all you can really do. This is the tough love that I share with myself. And I do this all the time. If I'm ever upset, like, I'll vent to her or my parents. Those are the only two people I ever vent to. But at the end of the day, I always tell myself, I'm like, me complaining will not solve the problem.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the tough love I give myself, and that I'm kind of sharing here, is like, you see this a lot. And it's unfortunate, but if you, maybe this will help, like, have a different mindset about it, that if you do complain, if you do woe is me, if you blame, if you play the victim, even if you were the victim, it's like, no one's going to help you.
Right.
Like, no one's going to help me. And you know how I know? Because we went through a lot of crap, and no one, and I don't mean no one helped, like, we had love and support from our family, but the actual work to get back to our lives, to pay off bills, to deal with all the repercussions of bad decisions and broken relationships and all that. Like, no one is going to grab your hand and help you through the hard times. There'll be people who will listen to you, but like, you can complain and blame until you're blue in the face. It will never change your circumstance.
Yep.
So no matter what happens, we had someone steal money from us. We were a true victim of a crime, and she got away with it. And we could have settled and just blamed the rest of our life as a complete failure, did nothing, and just blamed it all on her. Or we just said, I don't really give a crap about this woman anymore, and we're going to move on with our lives because it's her loss. If she would have just been a great business manager, she could have grew with us for years, and we're going to be worth a lot of money one day, and she could have made her money legally. It's her loss not to be a part of our lives. And we learned so much about money because we were forced to. So believe me, I was bitching and moaning. Believe me, we had moments. But just catch yourself. Yeah. If you're complaining, go, look, I'm complaining, but I'm going to vent because it feels good. So
gotta
vent.
let it out.
But then when you
let it
wake
blow
up, the next day, and you go, look, all right, this sucks, but what can I do?
That's right.
Oh, everything. What can I do? What is your course of action today to make your life better? What's the problem? Try to find a solution. Don't call your friends and family after you vent once and every single day vent. Call them and maybe work out what's a solution. Yeah. Don't keep going over the problem. What is the solution to get you out of this mess or to get out of this? And there is some things that are going to happen in life that are inevitable. If you lose a family member, if you lose a loved one, that's a whole different topic. Right. You know, those are just sad moments where you grieve and remember, and that's another thing that's easier said than done. But if you take family loss out of it, everything else in your life is really finding that solution and get yourself out of that. So that's how I stay positive, because I can easily complain or blame, but I go, I'm not going to waste my energy. I'm going to stay positive and work on positivity because that's going to move me forward. And that's what you do. I mean,
and also don't focus on what you can't control. Focus on the things you can control, like how you react to things that happen in your life, and that's it. Once you master that,
that's all it is. Yeah,
feel a lot better.
It's just react in a positive way, and even after we've done it for so long, there's times that I just want to like say something or snatch someone out of their car.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. But
we don't because things can go bad, and then they end up consuming 18 months of your life. So
sometimes I always feel, GTA, the video game?
Yes.
You know how they pull the person out of the car? I have my moments where I want to do that. I don't think I probably could physically do that, but
it's just going to cause so much more drama.
Yes,
and I think that's where I grow, is like there were times that back as a kid where you'd almost get into a fight or did get into a fight. And it's like, I would never do that now unless I was protecting my life. Like if someone was talking crap or I'm getting out of here. I don't want you to hit me and hurt me or me to hit you and hurt you. People end up in jail for that kind of stuff. Like I just want to be upset for 15 minutes and go live my life. I don't want to deal with the courts. I don't want to deal with these problems. That's an extreme example, but it's like, I just don't want to deal with it. Like, or even if it's like a troll message on Instagram or on YouTube, I have a really cool thing that I came up with.
What's that?
So I always feel when people say, oh, I blocked someone, I don't like how that feels.
Okay.
I don't like the energy around blocking someone, but I love blocking someone. So here's what I call it now. The comments that I'll get, very rarely, very, very rarely, out of 100 comments, 97 are positive. Maybe one is like a constructive criticism, which we appreciate. But then there's just like 2 stupid comments. But what I do is I don't think of it as blocking them. I think of it as unfollowing me for them. There are certain people and certain comments that we get that I go, why are you following us then? Let me unfollow me for you. That's what a block is to me. I'm not blocking them. I'm just unfollowing them, unfollowing me for them.
Okay.
Because because there's even certain comments, especially on YouTube, you can look at what they've commented in the past. Like you can click on a comment and it'll go, they've commented on 7 videos.
They've been negative.
And I click on it and I go, all 7 comments over the past year you've left have been negative.
Allow me to
us.
unfollow you.
You don't like it. Let me unfollow me for you. That's what I do. And so that's just, I will never engage with somebody who's toxic because it's a waste of time. We're not trying to accumulate 7 billion people to watch the podcast. We're trying to find as many like-minded people who enjoy this. Right. And if you don't, there's a million others. There's no need to write negative comments. So I unfollow me for them.
Wow. You heard it here first.
So that's how you stay positive. Last thing is surround yourself with good people, not people who drain you, not people who complain your ear off every day, not people who drag you down, not comments or trolls. Out of here. This is a wonderful, positive space for wonderful, positive people.
Ooh, I love that.